Hello and welcome to the update on our true potential portfolios. So today I'm going to discuss the performance of the portfolios, what changes we've made, and also look at what are the key themes that we're seeing from our fund manager partners. So before we do this, the first thing that I'd like to do is just to say true potential portfolios now have over 1.8 billion invested since we launched in October 2015. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for your continued support, but actually why are we seeing such large inflows into the portfolios? What we're seeing is that both clients and advisors understand the benefits of advanced diversification, and the results can be seen from this actually working in practice. Okay, so let's have a look at the performance figures, and as you can see for January, performance in general has been positive. Equity markets don't perform quite well, but bond markets in general have sold off. Over the longer term, since launch, you can see some excellent figures with investors being rewarded for taking extra risk with the growth and aggressive portfolios, both posting returns over 20% over the period. So as you'll know, we'll speak to our fund manager partners at least monthly, looking for any short-term key themes, and then we can tilt the portfolios to take advantage of them. First and potentially most contentious theme is what's happening in the US. So one of the main questions our fund managers partners have been asking is, now we're moving away from that Donald Trump honeymoon period, will he be able to push through those domestically focused policies through Congress? So there's a real dichotomy of views here. Some managers are still confident in Donald Trump's ability, whilst others have been reducing exposure to the US, citing high valuations and a potential uptick in volatility as the world digests whether Trump's policies will work or not. Currency has been a major factor in return over the past few months. And actually, if we look over 2016, sterling depreciation has been one of the main contributors to return. The sterling against US dollar exchange rate is historically at one of the lowest levels seen for over 30 years. Our managers are looking at what could happen should this unwind, and certain managers are reducing exposure to US dollars. Others, however, are still bullish, believing that there is further to go and the Trump administration could drive the currency to an even higher level. Okay, so let's now take a look at what's taken place over the month. So rebalances have been placed for the cautious and balanced plus portfolios. So within the cautious portfolio, the True Potential Schroeder Cautious Fund has been added to, helping to add to diversification and also reducing the overall model exposure towards fixed interest and increase exposure towards cash. Within equities, Schroeder select funds with a value bias, and they'll also identify funds with alternative strategies, again adding to diversification benefits. The True Potential Allianz Cautious Fund has been reduced, and that's because the fund has relatively higher risk levels and a larger exposure to non-sterling currencies compared to the other True Potential funds in that category. So within the Balanced Plus portfolio, the True Potential Schroeder Cautious Fund has been added to, and that's for the same reasons that I talked about before for the Cautious portfolio. This time, however, the True Potential SEI Cautious Fund was reduced, and that's due to SEI's exposure to global minimum volatility equities, an area of the market that has seen huge inflows during 2016, but as previously mentioned, is increasingly associated with bond proxies, which correlate with bond price movements. Looking at the rest of the True Potential portfolio range, allocations have been kept the same, with the optimization of all four factors continuing to be paramount within the portfolios. Markets are constantly changing, and the feeling is that we're moving towards a different market environment. Diversification is key for investors to reduce risk and to navigate through different market conditions. The True Potential portfolios not only offer diversification by asset class, country and currency, they also offer diversification around investment style, something we feel is essential in changing markets.